Sup you guys, ASD Classified here, and I'm here with another review of Power Rangers Super Megaforce, this time episode 2, Earth Fights Back. In this episode, the Rangers and, the citizens, they're all trying to rebuild the city, and they're at that rinky-dink mall, and Ernie's brain freeze, trying to rebuild a place, and they're like, this shows the aliens that we humans don't give up, and we're fighting back, and humans, they come together in times of adversity, and, some other crap, I don't know, it was very boring. Anyway, to the villains. So the villains, they're in a little spaceship, and the prince is like, oh yes, our invasion went well. It was successful. The destruction, so much destruction, it was so marvelous. All this stuff. And then Dahmer, the big gold guy, is like, but the humans didn't surrender. In fact, they're rebuilding everything right now. And then the prince was like, don't you give me that talk. And I don't know, I kind of chuckled at that. I don't know, it was just like, don't you give me that lip, boy. You give me lip, give me lip, boy. Psh, give me lip. I don't know, that's how it came off to me. It just made me laugh a little bit, like, really? But, Dahmer was right, though. Like, why would this invasion be a success? This is not a success by any stretch of the imagination. Like, what are you talking about? Let's go back to episode 1, alright? You attack the planet with this huge alien armada, all these alien spaceships attacking the city and whatnot. Then the spaceships just disappeared. I don't know why they disappeared. There was no mention about them. They just disappeared. You just left your ground forces attacking, the city. The Rangers defeated all your ground forces. So how is this a win exactly? And why did you even call your spaceships away? I don't understand. What are you talking about? But whatever. And we'll get back to those damn spaceships too. But yeah, right now, this invasion, no success. So yeah, then the prince was like, you need to come up with a plan to help me take over and da da da. And yeah, and the villains did come up with a good plan this episode. They put some missiles on Earth. They hid them on Earth in this warehouse. And in 2 hours, the missiles are set to fly all over the planet and destroy every major city on Earth. That is a brilliant ass plan. The only thing is, I wish they would have built the plan up a little more. I mean, destroying every major city on Earth, say no more. That's already destructive, and you know that's a real threat. I just wish they would have built it up a little more in terms of like the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in Mighty Morphin, Zordon would call the Rangers to the command center, and he'd be like, Rangers, Lord Zed and Rita have done the unthinkable. Okay? And they were like, and the Rangers be looking in the viewing globe, and they see the monster and whatever, and Zordon would be like, Rangers, if this isn't stopped, the Earth is doomed. And there would be like, this drama music playing in the background and stuff. Like, I missed that. That would build up the tension, This episode could have used that, but that would require Gosei being an actual mentor. You know what? I'm not gonna comment on that anymore. Like, we've been through it so many times. Anyway, so T-Roy. Okay, so T-Roy, he's still being all emo about Robo Knight. Ugh, God help me. Okay, so he's being emo about Robo Knight and stuff. Oh, Robo Knight, where are you? How can I find you? If only you were psychic, Troy. So, yeah, Troy's walking around and he just stumbles upon the villains going to this warehouse and setting up the missiles and stuff. So Troy, he sneaks in the warehouse and he's eavesdropping on the villains, finds out about their plan and stuff. So while Troy is doing all that, Emma contacts him, his communicator beep goes off, and the monster's like, what, who's there? And I just burst out laughing when he did that. Like, he just turned around, barely got the sentence out, like, who's there? And just started shooting. Like, he just started shooting so fast. It just made me laugh. I don't even know why I found it that funny, but I did. It's just, these villains are really trying to kill these Rangers. So yeah, Troy dodged, and then he morphed into, Megaforce Red, and then he was fighting, the X-Borgs and the monster and stuff. He called Tenso to contact the other Rangers, and then the other Rangers were headed to the warehouse. And then, you know, the villain sent down X-Borgs. X-Borgs upon X-Borgs upon X-Borgs. So first the Rangers had an unmorph fight. Then they morphed into the Megaforce Rangers and had a fight in those suits. Then they went Super Mega mode. Then they went to the Legendary Ranger mode, you know, and they picked RPM at first. So Legendary Ranger mode, RPM, get in gear. And I'm like, oh yeah, man, Turbo Axe, Turbo Cannons, man, Zip Charger, woo, you know, yeah, RPM, yeah. Then... after that, Gosei interrupts us and he's like, so Rangers, you have now unlocked new modes that have never been seen before on this planet. Oh no. So yeah, so these Rangers pulled out these keys and then they transformed into the Die Ranger suits. Yeah. So the Rangers transforming into the Die Ranger suits, that wasn't much of a surprise to me. Like, I already made a video about it. Like, I saw this coming, you know. So, yeah. But I remember saying, like, I don't want them to use these suits, but if they use them, I want them to have a good story behind it. Like, you know, a good story. What are these suits? Where are these suits from? You know, the Rangers that use them, you know, all that. They need a good story if they're going to use them. Apparently, the good folks at Saban Brands disagreed with me. And they said, you know what? We're just going to throw these suits at you and you are going to deal. That's it. There is no story for this. Okay? These are just suits that have never been seen before on this planet. And we're going to transform into them. Okay? They don't even have a name. They didn't even give them a name. Where are these suits from? Are they from another planet? Are they from an alternate dimension? Are they from a different time? Are these suits that were locked up in Zordon's closet? What? Nothing. No explanation at all. But Saban Brands expects you to deal, so I don't... I have nothing more to say on that. What else to say? It was 30 seconds of nonsense. That's what it was. Wow. So the Rangers in their Die Ranger suits defeat the X-Borgs. Troy defeats the monster and destroys the console that controlled, you know, the missiles and stuff. So they didn't, you know, go off and destroy all those cities. So yeah, then all the Rangers, you know, all 5 Rangers come together and they turn into Power Rangers SPD. And then they defeat the monster. You know, then the prince was throwing a temper tantrum. Oh no, Latveria, do something. You know, and Latveria's like, no, I got you, your highness. Plan B is on the way. Fire the satellite lasers, you know. So they made the monster grow. Then the Rangers getting their Zords. Then Gosei interrupts us again. And he's like, Rangers, you have now unlocked your SPD Zords. I'm like, okay. They haven't done anything to unlock these Zords, but I guess I'm not arguing with Gosei anymore, alright? So yeah, they call on their, what was it, the Delta Runner, I think. So yeah, they have the Delta Runner. They combine it with their legendary Megazord to form the legendary SPD Megazord. And with that Megazord, you know, they defeat the monster for good. And you know, I really do love this Megazord fight. Like, I loved it in Gokaiger because it pays tribute perfectly to Deca Range and SPD, because that's how their Megazord fights used to be. You know, it was like, you know, like a cop drama, you know, like we're hiding behind buildings, like, oh no, ooh, boom, boom, boom. You know, I love their Zord fights, you know, so that was like a perfect callback. Like, you know, they're hiding behind the buildings and shooting. The monster done kicked the building to the Rangers jumping up and done blasted a hole through. Like, wow. Loved it. So yeah, the Rangers, they defeat the monster and the Zords, and then after that, the Rangers take the legendary Megazord, they go up into space, and then they start blowing up the Prince's alien armada. They just start blowing up all these ships, and it's like, why didn't you guys use this footage in episode 1? This footage could have been used to explain why those spaceships just randomly disappeared, you know? But whatever, you used them here. The action, you know, looked awesome, of course. But, let me ask this question, okay? Is there some reason that the Rangers couldn't have used their old Zords to do this? Outside of Sentai footage and stupid writing? No? Okay, whatever. I asked, so. Alright, so yeah, the Rangers do that, and the Prince was just losing his mind. Like, really? we have our answer on how the prince is going to act in Power Rangers. He's going to be an idiot. Okay? Like, episode 1, we weren't sure, you know, and I even said that in my review. Like, he seems competent, but we don't know yet that the tides could change, and it changed in episode 2. He's an idiot who overreacts and just goes all crazy. Ah, they're beating me. Yeah, an idiot. Okay. That was pretty much it. The Rangers had a pretty good victory in this episode, and then it just ended with, oh yay, we rebuilt this rinky-dink mall, and we have a poster that says Earth fights back. Oh, humans, great, teamwork. Wow, this episode, man. Okay, really, when I first watched it, I was just bored to death. And I don't know if you could tell that or not, since I'm kind of hype in this review, but really, I was bored to death. Because there's nothing to this episode but fight scenes. Fight, 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 fight. And then Earth is great. Humans are wonderful. People all over the world. Join hands and start a love train. Love train. That's it. That's what this episode is. Fight scenes and love train. That's it. And it's boring. Like, there's nothing new here. This is the same thing that's been going on for 20-some episodes. It's the same thing. Fight scenes, love train. That's it. Okay? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death of it. Okay? And that's why I'm probably gonna take a break from reviewing Power Rangers episodes. I'm probably not going to review next week because I am sick to death of saying the exact same thing. Because the Bond Brands is very consistent in the problems that they have with their seasons. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. They refuse to be shit. It's the same thing. Like, it feels like this season is just trying to get by on all that wonderful Gokaiger footage. And no, you need a story. You need a story. Not just fight scenes all day long. Like, you know what this episode should have been? It should have been Gosei explaining where the hell he got these powers from and how the hell he's pulling out powers that don't even exist in this time period yet. You know what? Man. Oh, wow. Like, let's pull out these SPD Zords and SPD powers with no explanation about them. Yeah, that's great. It's funny how in Gokaiger, this was a tribute episode to Deca Ranger, but in Power Rangers, they weren't paying tribute to SPD at all. It was just used to fight footage of them turning into SPD. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that they didn't try to do a tribute to SPD, because that, with the current writing team, that just would have been a mess, and I'd be giving it a 0 instead of a 2. So I'm kind of glad they didn't attempt that. Like, they have no idea what to do with that time travel or nothing. Like, it just would have been a mess. But still, though, I mean, you could explain where these powers came from. You can explain that. You could explain where these villains come from. Like, who are these villains? Like, what's their name? Like, not their name. I'm talking about, like, what's the name of this royal family, the villains? Like, okay, Gokaiger, the Zangaku Empire, they own most of the universe. They're trying to conquer everything. You know, simple. We got that. Here we don't even have that. They're an alien armada who showed up on our planet one day. What else? Who are these people? What's their name? You know, we have like SPD Grum from the Trubian Empire. We have Prince from Alien Armada. I don't see, you see, stuff is missing. This Alien Armada, like, do they own most of the planet? I mean, most of the universe? Like, you know, like, what are they doing? Like, what are their goals? Like, explain! This show is just the definition of lazy. Like, oh man. You know, on a lighter note, I saw like an interesting theory on rangerboard.com. Like, one of the users posted it, and it was like, you know, Gosei could actually be that stone from the Down Thunder special, you know, that big old rock that talked to Ethan and Kira and showed them, you know, the visions of SPD. I love that theory. Gosei being that stone, that would be freaking awesome. It would explain how he knows about, you know, SPD and stuff. And it's like, you know, Gosei's just that connected to the morphing grid and he can see into the future, like that kind of stuff. Like, I kind of like that theory. Like, it would explain how he has access to all these freaking powers. He's just connected to the morphing grid like that, you know, I don't know. And, you know, Gosei is a shapeshifter. I don't know if you guys forgot that. So he can change his appearance. He can be a giant rock if he wants to be. I don't know. Like, I feel like that would be a good good explanation for the show, but you know, that would require capable writers, so I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you enjoyed this episode, more power to you, but yeah. On another note, I kind of started watching Tokuja, where I watched the first episode, you know. It was okay. Like, I don't know, I was hoping that it would, like, blow me away a little more, but, you know, we'll see. I'll give it a few more episodes, and then I might make a video on it, so yay. But yeah, so far, it's okay. Imagination! Alright, well, let me know what you guys think about the new episode of Super Megaforce. You know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was meh? Let me know in a comment if you would be so kind. Alright, later you guys. Jamata. John